Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and that's right, you're looking at the Gridiron Studios Python MECH COMBO. Now, I do have a customer service complaint about Gridiron Studios, and at the end I'll tell you about it, and you tell me if I should just forget it or stop doing business with them. Anyways, I think it looks really, really cool, and this is just an after shot, but we're going to go into detail on this thing. Now, it's supposed to be with that other one, but this is the flight pod that I have, and this is the darker version or whatever. I still think this setup looks really, really cool, just like this. All right, the one thing about the Gridiron Studios props is when they send you the stuff, it's just in a shipping box and all the pieces just come wrapped in bubble wrap. Now, there is this little plastic bag that has all the accessories in it, and they do throw their little business card type thing in there with some other products on there, but there's no real packaging whatsoever. So if you're an inbox collector and you like to collect stuff like this, there's just no option for you. But anyways, here it is. It works with the trouble bubble, and you get the legs and you just slide it on. You see those slots? It just slides on there and sort of seats. The problem is it doesn't necessarily lock in, so it does slide off. Sometimes you have to kind of readjust it, but it does hold up that flight pod pretty well. And then you got that back piece, and you see those two little pieces right there, and then you see these little notches on the sides. They just lock that thing into place. Once you just apply a little bit of pressure, just push and it'll click and it'll be perfectly seated. Now you got those arms on there, and they're pretty cool, but they don't have articulation in the elbows and they do not have articulation in the knees. But check this out. There's two little points on the back so you can throw on the jet portion of your flight pod so you can still get airborne if you needed to. So if you ordered before a certain time, not only did you get the MECH combo with all the accessories, but you got this bonus piece, which was like a claw. And let me show it to you. Here it is. This is the claw, and it just clicks into one of the hands, and it just gives you one more little addition so that you could do something like have it hold up that figure like I had in the opening shot. Now, it's pretty cool. It just clicks in there. The fingers kind of articulate. It does have some rotation movement, just not too much once it's clicked in, but it's pretty nice. I mean, check that out. And it opens and closes, and that is kind of cool. So those ports are really designed for the weapons on the thing, which are pretty nice. And there's a whole bunch of little attachments all over the place, so you could put all of the accessories on. And you know what? There's a lot of little paint details that make this thing look really, really cool. And let's just get into some of the accessories. Now, here they are. They all came in a nice little package. They had the Gridiron Studios props card and stuff like that. Let's take them out and see what we got. Now, it's got this little piece here. I have no idea what that's for, by the way. But there is the kind of machine gun and the flamethrower part. And those would just snap in where you got that little tri-finger and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't know what this is, and I don't know where it goes, but I'm going to try to figure it out. And if I do, we'll put it on here. If I don't, I'm just going to keep it off to the side because I don't know what to do with it. Okay, so first of all, it's got these little exhaust type ports, or maybe like little smoke something or other where you could deploy smoke. I guess you just use your imagination to figure out what those are. But I'm going to put them down here on the legs because that's what I saw in the picture. But you could definitely put them up on the arms if you want. You can put this stuff really wherever you want. So anyways, I think they look pretty cool. They don't move up and down, but you can put them in a slightly different position. They got sort of a hex pattern, so you can put them a little bit different, but this is how I'm going to put them. So the next thing we're going to look at are these two weapons. So one is like kind of the machine gun, and they just snap in the same as that claw does, which is kind of cool. And the other one is the flamethrower. So you could put one of those in each of the two arms, but I think what I want to do is I'm going to probably just put the machine gun, and I'm going to keep the claw. I mean, they're super easy to swap, so I'm just going to keep them handy, but for the most part, I'm probably going to have mine displayed with the claw, and I'm probably put an action figure in the claw, like he's really holding on to some action figure. So I think that claw looks really cool, and that's the way I'm going to go with it. Then, also what it came with was these nice little parts that go up on the back. Now, you can tell this is where they're supposed to go because the hole is round and these little peg things are round. So these are kind of rocket launchers, and there's one for each side, and they tilt up and tilt down, which is kind of cool. Now, they are close to the pilot's head, but he does have that protective shield, so he's not going to get like burnt by the rockets firing off. But they look pretty cool. Now, it would be cool if those rockets kind of did come out or had some sort of firing effect so you could have one in motion, but they don't. So anyways, it also has these little shields that you can put on the arms to sort of protect, you know, kind of blast shields and stuff like that. The picture here looks like a target, which is kind of interesting because it's kind of like, shoot me here. But anyways, there's one for each arm, and this is how I'm going to put them. I figure that it's there to protect maybe the hydraulics or something like that, and I think it looks pretty cool. It's just a nice little added touch. Now, I'm going to stick the flamethrower on this arm really quick just to have a look at it because it did come with this really nice flame effect. So you know this one is the flamethrower because if you look at the tip, you can see it's got that little lighting piece and then it's got the barrel. And the flame just fits right on the end like that. And it does have one flat side on it. So if you wanted to make it look like it was flaming on the ground, it will lay flat on the ground and looks pretty cool. All right, so the flame effect looks pretty cool. I think I might use this flame effect with one of the hand-carrying flamethrowers that the figure comes in or something like that. Probably not necessarily going to use it with this. But anyways, it does come with this like bullet effects, the big bullets and stuff like that. And there is a little port on the inside of the arm where the 1/2 plugs in. And then once I do that, let me get this flamethrower off and I'll put the machine gun on because that really works with the machine gun. And you can see it wraps around the outside of the arm and right underneath is where the other side plugs in. Right there. And then when you look at it, it looks like it's feeding the ammo out to that like 50 cal or whatever it is. And that looks really, really cool. Man, I am really impressed with this thing. It is pretty cool. I really am digging it. I just don't know where this piece goes. I have absolutely no idea. So let me stop talking about it. But it does hold the extra stuff. So I'm going to put it somewhere, probably on a shelf or in a box. Anyways, let's talk about the articulation. Once again, no joints, no elbow and no knee joints, but you can see how the arms open and close. The legs have some pretty good movement on it. And it has a pretty good sense of balance because even if you tilt this thing like all the way back, it really does kind of hold this thing up. And I'm going to show you that here in a second. So I'm going to just tilt this thing back and let you see how this guy just kind of leans back. Let me push it forward so you can see the feet. So there he is standing on his feet, leaned way back. The only problem is the trouble bubble does come unseated from the legs a little bit, but it does support it. So it's really, really cool in that respect. And if you wanted to detach it, it easily comes apart. So you could put it into flight mode with the arms and you could just leave the legs behind. So real quick, they marked this shipped and on the 3rd. A week later, I contacted them. They ignored that email. The middle of this week, earlier this week, I contacted them again. They finally responded to me, but told me it should have been to me by now and that they would ship me another one. Well, lo and behold, the tracking on the original shipment updated and all of a sudden it was in the mail. So I kind of feel like they misled me a little bit because I just don't think they ever really dropped it off at the post office. And I think they should have just been upfront with that. And I responded back to it and they still haven't responded to my 3rd email. So what do you think about a company that doesn't respond to most of their emails, marks stuff as shipped, doesn't put it in the mail, and then makes excuses for it and tries to blame it on the post office? Is that a company that you would continue to do business with? Let me know in the comments. But anyways, this thing looks pretty cool, and I'm kind of happy to get it, but it might be my last purchase from Gridiron Prop Studios. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a fantastic day.